September 25th, I believe, early in the morning. We had come back from the bar. We were joking around, wrestling around.
Who came back from the bar?
Myself and a couple friends, along with Matt, had come back a little before I have. And,
just a minute. Who was at the bar?
There was my roommate, Jesse, had come back a couple, probably 10, 20 minutes before us, I think, and then Matt and a couple of our other friends were there. Walking back, everybody had left. I had come back afterwards, met up with them over.
I have no idea what you're just telling me. Neither does anybody else.
Okay.
How drunk were you?
I was intoxicated. I was not completely belligerent.
You were drunk?
Yes.
That I sort of figured out from both reading this and listening to your nonsense just now.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So I had enough room I could turn and bite his finger. That's when he starts UFC trying to dive tackle me. So I gave him a good smack back, and it was hard.
And what happened to your face, Mr. Coward?
My jaw was broken.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephen J. Cowart says former friend Matt Foss broke his jaw during a night of heavy drinking. Matt says it was Jake who was doing all the drinking.
You went to a bar at what time?
We walked over there.
You.
I walked over there, Your Honor, probably around 10 or 11.
Who did you walk over with?
My friend Zach, Jesse.
This gentleman walked over with you?
Yes, I believe so.
What does that mean you believe so, Mr. Cowart?
Well, earlier in the evening, we had all walked over there as a group. A few of us had come back and gone back over to the bar. It's right across the street.
So you went to the bar twice?
I didn't. I only stayed once.
Where had you been drinking that night, Mr. Cowart?
We had been drinking over...
Not to get back together with him after a breakup. Why do you think she would be crazy about you? I'm just curious.
She would make numerous calls and...
why would you think?
Why would I think she'd...
Yeah.
Just from the numerous phone calls she would make and...
I want you to tell me, Mr. Lindsay, what you think you have to offer somebody that they would want to sign your bail and be responsible for it.
Well, I mean, at the time...
Do you have a job?
At the time, yes, I did. I had a very good job.
You had a very good job. What happened to your job?
We had a roof over our head.
What happened to your job when you went to jail?
I was still able to work. I ended up contacting my boss. No, not from jail, but I contacted my boss and let him know what was going on. And he said...
You were violated on probation.
I was put on probation.
Were you violated on probation?
No, I was not violated on probation.
How long did you spend in jail, Mr. Lindsay?
It was only a couple days, Your Honor.
And never went back? It's not an answer, Mr. Lindsay.
Yes, I did go back.
Well, then just answer the question, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can only think of my granddaughter who's 12. She goes like this to me. But she's got a whole thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Krista Lewis says ex-boyfriend Ronald Lindsay owes for the cost of bail money after he was arrested on drug possession charges.
Mr. Lindsay, how long did you go back to jail?
2 months.
For what, Mr. Lindsay?
For this case, to get the case wrapped up.
I know of no violation of the penal law which says case wrapped up.
Well, not
what were you arrested for? What did she bail you out for?
It was for domestic violence.
Against whom?
A cell phone got broke, and that's why I was arrested.
Against whom?
Against Crystal.
Is that why he was arrested?
No, it wasn't.
Were you still living together?
Our divorce was signed on November 16th, 2009.
Women know those things.
Yes, Your Honor, they do.
Sometimes it's the most liberating date in their lives. They like to keep...
Yes, it was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did you use this account to deposit the check? Do you understand where I'm going, Mr. Peelman?
I do understand where you're coming from, Your Honor.
I'm glad you understand, because I didn't want you to think that they just keep me up here because I'm a pretty...
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Gallegos says ex-husband Matthew Peelman deposited a fraudulent check into a shared account.
Now, when did you separate?
We separated on March 14th, 2008.
And when you separated, Mr. Peelman, in March of '08, did you move out of the house or did your wife?
I guess she moved out.
Where did you go?
I went and I lived with a friend.
Are you asking me?
I went and I lived with my friend. I moved into my friend's house.
Did you stay in the marital home, Mr. Peelman?
For a short time,
How long?
less than a month.
He's lying. We were living at his parents' house.
I moved out of our marital home after I found out that there was infidelity in the marriage.
Were you, in March of 2008, living with your parents, the two of you?
I moved in with my parents, yes.
We moved into his parents' house Thanksgiving weekend, November 2007.
I moved into my parents' house.
We moved in.
Shh. Don't.
Got it.
When was this check deposited, Mr. Peelman?
I want to say when the police came to my house to investigate this, they told me it was September of '08.
Don't tell me what they told you. Do you have the date it was deposited?
Correct.
I
Yeah, I
assume you
do.
have. Can I see it, please?
It's the copy of the check and the deposit slip.
All right. Now, Mr. Peelman, this is clearly your signature on the endorsement of the check and the deposit slip. The check is for $4,950. You took out $1,000. I don't speak to idiots.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amber Smith says ex-husband Austin Allgaier owes for a cell phone bill, purposely damaging her property and for stealing money from their son's piggy bank.
Okay, let's start with the cell phone bill. You were divorced in what month and year?
We were divorced in March of 2009.
Good. And when did you have this cell phone plan?
We opened the cell phone plan in the summer of 2004, Your Honor.
So in March of 2009, the same plan existed in 2004.
Correct, although 2 lines had been added to it, one for our son and one for my fiance.
Now, in March of 2009, did you have attorneys representing you in the divorce?
I did, Your Honor.
Then the attorney would have said to you, any and all debt, any and all things that exist today are going to be resolved. After this, we start fresh.
Correct, Your Honor.
So you explain to me why you think that the cell phone bill that you allowed him to maintain on your plan shouldn't be covered by that judgment of divorce, which should have resolved all financial issues between you as of March 2009.
First of all, the cell phone bill, we were under a contractual obligation with the cell phone company.
Who's we?
For a certain amount. Well, I was under.
Right, well, that's a debt.
Yeah.
Debts are listed in your judgment of divorce. And the judge at the time of the judgment of divorce would have fixed a responsibility for that cell phone and said, listen, I'm going to take the $200 disconnect fee for your line and give her credit for that because she's going to ultimately be responsible for it, and I would have disconnected him. Do you understand?
I understand completely, Your Honor. The cell phone line was only left open